The FBI conducting a relentless search for Brian Laundrie, the boyfriend of Gabby Petito. He's now infamous. Laundrie wanted on a federal arrest warrant and was last seen nearly 2 weeks ago when he left his home in Florida to go hiking and never returned. He is a person of interest in the death of his girlfriend, Gabby Petito, whose body was found at a campground in Wyoming 1 week ago. And Tracy Walder is a former CIA officer and FBI special agent. Tracy, good morning to you. Local authorities have handed this case over to the FBI. How does that impact this investigation?
Well, good morning, Adrienne. Thank you for having me. So this impacts the investigation in several ways. First, really what this tells me is this is probably a multi-jurisdictional, multi-state investigation, probably focusing on the location of where Gabby was killed, as well as where Laundrie probably is. And the FBI tends to come in when multiple jurisdictions are involved. Additionally, it sort of helps to pool resources together to give the local law enforcement a broader access to resources that could be available to them to help in this search.
The FBI returned to the Laundrie family's home in Northport, Florida, to remove some of Brian's things that have DNA on them, we've been told. Some type of DNA testing will be executed. What will those items be used for? I mean, what is your gut telling you? Because obviously, you've done this.
So my gut would tell me, doing things like this in the past, is that those items, particularly those with Brian's DNA on it, would be used probably to compare against Gabby Petito's body. Things like defensive wounds underneath her nails, perhaps hairs, things like that might be used to compare with Laundrie's DNA.
The weekend, the search for Brian focused on the swamp near the reserve where he went hiking nearly 2 weeks ago. Where do investigators branch out from there?
So my best guess as to where Laundrie may be, given who he is, what his background is probably the Appalachian Trail. This is someone who has in the past talked about the fact that he has hiked the Appalachian Trail. He is someone who I believe has some wilderness survival skills. I don't know how survivable the swamp would be for multiple days. So my best guess is that he's probably on the Appalachian Trail. I have heard discussion that he may be out of the country, maybe in the Bahamas, places like that. My gut tells me he's probably not there just because with COVID restrictions and things like that, it would be very difficult right now to get into those countries sort of under the cover of darkness. So my best guess is that they should probably expand their search out to the Appalachian Trail.
As the Laundrie family has pointed out through their attorney, the arrest warrant that's out for him pertains to Brian's activities after Gabby's death, relating to a debit card or bank card fraud using somebody's personal ID number to withdraw money during the period that Gabby went missing. So authorities have not revealed exactly whose PIN he was using, but what does this particular federal charge mean for investigators who want to question Brian? Again, he's still not considered a suspect.
So quite simply, what that does is that gives investigators cause to arrest him. My best guess is they're not looking to necessarily pursue those types of charges against him. It's very rare for the FBI to do something like that. I believe the charges were about $1,000 or so. And federal debit card fraud really can be quite severe. We're looking at 15 years in prison, $25,000 fine. My best guess is that gives them probable cause to now arrest him while they are compiling that DNA evidence to go ahead and build a case around him and then return another indictment, perhaps for the homicide.
Really quickly, Tracy, last question for you. We know that this case has received a ton of social media attention, online amateur sleuths trying to help solve this case for investigators. Now, reality star Dog the Bounty Hunter says he's joining the search. Is this helpful or is this a distraction?
I think it's both. I think, on one hand, it is great to have a lot of eyes on the issue, but on the other hand, sometimes information is recovered that, the police and federal law enforcement want to stay withheld so that they can build their case. So I think it's good and bad.
Tracy Walder, thank you for being with us and appreciate your expertise as you have been with the FBI and CIA. Appreciate it.